So I think I was wrong about AI in some sense. I had always believed that AI, because of its nature, it's trained on a past history, a corpus of text that isn't the future, which thereby leads me to believe that discovery, innovation isn't its forte, isn't something that is going to ever be something that AI will be able to do. And to some degrees, I'm right. But the ability to complement the innovators and to accelerate things like the R&D process is something that has changed the more I've listened to the experts or read research papers such as this. This one by Aidan Toner Rogers from MIT, Artificial Intelligence, Scientific Discovery, and Product Innovation, is a great example of how AI complements the experts, and when used properly can accelerate the R&D process. But when it's not used and someone within their domain expertise isn't perhaps as intelligent as they should be to reduce the false positive output of an AI, whereas it gives you suggestions that would lead you down the wrong rabbit hole, would decrease productivity. And I think there's a lot of things we can take away from that. There's also Dario Amodei from Anthropic, the CEO, and one of my favorite LLMs, Claude, discusses domain expertise and the ability to break down walls of communication by just simply using an AI as an assistant within a number of different domains that perhaps one specific domain expert is not part of. So I want to start off with Ben Affleck, for example, because he says things that I think more align to how I've thought about AI in general.
Possible in the future? Highly unlikely. C, movies that will be one of the last things, if everything gets replaced, to be replaced by AI. AI can write you excellent imitative verse that sounds Elizabethan. It cannot write you Shakespeare. The function of having two actors or three or four actors in a room and the taste to discern and construct that is something that currently entirely eludes AI's capability, and I think will for a meaningful period of time. What AI is,
and he's right. He has a great perspective. If you follow me on LinkedIn or you don't, you can go find that I posted that. And he's right. It's imitative because it's trained on a past corpus of text. It is not going to find you potentially the outliers without the assistance of an individual. But let's look at this study. So this paper, 1,000 scientists, new materials discovery at an R&D lab at a large U.S. firm. AI-assisted research to discover 44% more materials, resulting in a 39% increase in patent filings and a 17% rise in downstream product innovation. But there's a lot of caveats to this. These compounds possess more novel chemical structures and lead to more radical innovations. Pretty cool. However, the technology has strikingly disparate effects across the productivity distribution. While the bottom third of scientists see little benefit, the output of top researchers nearly doubles. Investigating the mechanisms behind these results, I show that AI automates 57% of idea generation tasks, reallocating researchers to the new task of evaluating model-produced candidate materials. Top scientists leverage their domain knowledge to prioritize promising AI suggestions, while others waste significant resources testing false positives. This is all about the ability to discern, is this AI output pretty much BS, or is this something that's going to take me down a path for accelerating the R&D process? Together, these findings demonstrate the potential of AI-augmented research and highlight the complementarity between algorithms and expertise in the innovative process. It's an assistant. It is not the end-all, be-all. It is not a replacement, at least for now, and I think for the future, just like what Mr. Affleck was saying in a more creative space, which is content generation, that it's not going to innovate. It's not going to have the outlier breakthroughs, but a person within this domain expertise is able to use an assistant to really use it as a collaboration tool. Survey evidence reveals that these gains come at a cost. However, as 82% of scientists report reduced satisfaction with their work due to decreased creativity and skill underutilization. So the fact that AI can do some parts of their job really affected how they thought about their job. And not so funny of a graph down here. This one was a before and after, adopting the AI tool versus after. Blues before, purple's after. And you can see the only one that flipped was, I am satisfied with my choice of field. And I guess it's all about perspective. When you feel like AI is doing some facets of a process, like there's 3 elements of the R&D process, of the basic research, the applied research, and what's the other one? Experimental development. Then when you start not replacing, reducing time in those different fields, you feel like that your own job is at risk. And I don't think that is the case, especially for people within the R&D, because it is the outlier breakthroughs. It is the assistance of AI. And the ones that were top performers in their field, the ones that were able to reduce the AI false positives as far as this isn't the way we should be going down, are the ones that still felt overall pretty good about their jobs. So again, it's all about perspective. And here, really great graph. So 0, this is the point of adoption. So you can see the trailing 12 months, normal, 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 and then an acceleration, new materials, patent filings, product prototypes. I think there's enough here to determine that through high probability that the adoption of the AI tool is a result of this increase in all 3 areas. Now, let's go listen to Dario on his discussion of the use of AI right now.
Area like biology. And, I wrote this essay, Machines of Loving Grace. It seems to me that humans are struggling to understand the complexity of biology, right? If you go to Stanford or to Harvard or to Berkeley, you have whole departments of, folks trying to study, like the immune system or metabolic pathways. And each person understands only a tiny bit part of it, specializes, and they're struggling to combine their knowledge with that of other humans. And so I have an instinct that there's a lot of room at the top for AIs to get smarter.
Okay, so what's validated in this study is here. Yet little is known about how these tools impact invention in real-world setting where R&D bottlenecks, organizational frictions. This is what I'm thinking about when Dario's talking about that. Or lack of reliability may limit their effectiveness. You can only know so much, even within a given field. And this is where my perspective changed on the use of AI. Like, I thought it was going to become the most useful when it becomes super highly intelligent, better than 99.9999% of humans within a specific task. You think of like Stockfish for chess, for example. However, I think it's more about just being able to access a broader corpus of information rather than have to rely on the collaboration of others, because especially in academic research or even corporate research, corporate life in general, everyone's working in these different silos and you don't know what you don't know and you can't access information. So the ability to train something like an AI model, this one specific to the discovery of new materials, breaks down that, allows someone within their own specific field to reach out, get better information, get better analysis, collaboration, correlation through a number of different information it's trained on. And that is really where we're going to see an acceleration in the process. The big thing to note too, again, it's all about perspective. This is really what I think is the most important part. The technology has strikingly disparate effects across the productivity distribution. While the bottom third of scientists see little benefit, the output of top researchers nearly doubles. It's all about your understanding, your perspective, and not falling down the trap of false positives. Top scientists leverage their domain knowledge to prioritize promising AI suggestions while others waste significant resources testing false positives. Again, when you look, double output for the top people that reduce false positives. The ones that don't find it to be less productive, took them down paths that they themselves, without the tool giving them that suggestion, wouldn't have gone down. So then they believe that AI is giving them diminishing returns for their day-to-day. I'm going to see if I have any other notes here that were interesting. The bottom third of researchers. Material quality. AI increases the number of new compounds. However, it could be the case that it simultaneously lowers material quality. Human science appears to exhibit such a speed-quality trade-off. That's a danger of it. Review of novelty. Because models are trained on existing knowledge, they might direct research toward understood but low-value areas. That was always my my thing with it, was that it's past knowledge. It's not going to give those outlier breakthroughs. But overall, that's exactly a differing perspective. You still need to be an expert. You can't use this as a crutch to accelerate your own job, because then it is going to take you down paths that you don't want. You'll feel less productive. You'll feel like the tool, it is a tool. It is not controlling your day to day. It is something that can assist you with being more productive, but you still got to know your stuff.